guys, welcome back to another episode of Unbalanced with me, Cerys Davage. How are we all? Before we do anything, I have some exciting news, and it's the news that I've been dying to share for so long now, and that news is that I have started a charity. I honestly just can't believe it, to be honest. It started, I guess, 6 months ago, maybe more, when I was approached by Kelly of Cure LGMD2I, who sponsored this podcast, and I was asked to start a UK branch of their charity because their charity is mostly USA focused, and they have recently branched out to start a Cure LGMD2I in Canada as well, started by Jen Zucchetto. So I am so excited to be sharing that my mum and I have been working very hard. My mum has to take most of the credit, but my mum and I have been working very hard behind the scenes for the past few months on this charity. So we're officially announcing Cure LGMD R9 UK, or 2I UK. I guess R9 is the new term for 2I these days, so I'm trying to get my head around it. I'm trying to remember that it's R9 now and not 2I, but at the moment we're calling it both just to reach absolutely everyone. And as you may be able to see if you're watching, we got a little Cure LGMD UK sticker, so it's right here. I've propped it up to kind of, I don't know, bring a little representation to the podcast today. But we are so excited about this. We're excited to hopefully connect with the 2IR9 community in the UK and their families and just bring hope and fundraise towards a brighter future for us. So it's a really exciting chapter. We started the social media pages of it. So if you go to Instagram and Facebook and check out Cure LGMD R9 UK, then it should come up. It's the letter R, by the way, if you're not sure. Cure LGMD letter R number 9. We decided to launch the social media ahead of the Denmark conference, and if you're listening as soon as this episode is out, I'll be in Denmark for the second ever European LGMD2IR9 conference. The first one was in Amsterdam a couple of years ago, but yeah, this one is in Denmark, just outside Copenhagen, so I'm very excited for it. I'm excited to meet people, meet families, reunite with some people that I met in Amsterdam a couple of years ago, and it's going to be a really, really good time just connecting with our community. So we wanted to announce the charity ahead of that so that people knew where to find us. Our website is still in the works. So if you would like to donate or if you would like to check out the website, you're going to have to just stay tuned because it's not quite ready yet. But best believe I will be sharing all the latest information on this podcast or on my socials just to keep you guys updated if you're interested. So it's just crazy. It's quite surreal to be able to finally talk about this after months of building it behind the scenes and not really mentioning it to anyone. I'm just so passionate about this. You guys know that I want to dedicate my life to helping this community as much as I can. There's just something so incredible about being able to bring people together and to bring some hope and to raise awareness. I've learned since starting this podcast that this is what I'm really, really passionate about. So I'm hoping to be able to just do that so much more with this charity and hopefully in the future branch out to a lot more communities. But we'll see. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. We're still launching at the moment. But yeah, I would appreciate any kind of support over on our socials. Just to follow along the journey. I've been putting off filming this episode for some reason. I think it's just because we're going through a lot of changes. Oh, guys, I need to tell you about my flat. I don't know if you knew or if you've been watching my vlogs. We finally fixed or got over a situation in our apartment, in our flat. There was a big leak that happened like 6 months ago and we finally got it fixed. But we've just found another one in our main bedroom, which is like the other side of our flat. So we're currently not living in our main bedroom at the moment. It's had to just be ditched because the damage is just crazy. Like the carpets are all soaking wet and we've just had to try and dry that room out and actually try and fix the cause of this leak, of this massive like damage. It's honestly just been a bit of a nightmare, to be honest, just really chaotic. Not what we needed. As soon as I started a job that meant working from home, thank goodness we do have a second bedroom, which is where I'm also working at my desk. So it's like the desk, and then right behind me is the bed. So I need to make sure I'm actually leaving my room, leaving just, actually living outside of one room day and night. So it's been a bit chaotic, so everything's kind of all over the place at the moment. Furniture's been rearranged, but also I think in the stress of this and launching the charity, and I've got a lot of other bits coming up in the next couple of months. It's just going to be a very busy couple of months. I think I've had a bit of stress just trying to organise everything. My skin's not been very good, and I put off doing this episode because I was like, oh, I need to like wait until I have a good like makeup day or a good skin day. And I was like, you know what, like, why am I waiting around for this? This is really stupid. I guess I've like built up the standard because I think in the last episode I had really nice hair and I really love my makeup, but I was like, I don't need to wear makeup to do a podcast episode. Like, stop being so self-absorbed and vain and just let it go. So I'm just going to do this episode as it is, as I am. Please accept me as I am. No makeup today, and you know what, I'm feeling kind of good about it. I think this podcast is all about authenticity. I'm trying to be as authentic as I can and as transparent as I can, and I don't want to come across as like that I can't film a podcast episode just because I'm not wearing makeup or I'm not happy with how my skin is at the moment. It's so silly. So please bear with me whilst I'm trying to navigate that. But I thought, no, that's not going to hold me back. I'm not going to miss an episode slot just because of that. Today, I thought I would bring back a topic that was very popular last time I did an episode about this, and it was life hacks. Or I think I phrased it, hacks that will change your life. And I think I did the first one a while ago now. I can't even remember when it was. Maybe like a year and a half ago, but I really enjoyed it because I got to show some gadgets that I was loving at the time, or some things that like practical things that I did in my life that was really useful and really like helped my like productivity, helped like manage my energy levels. And I've culminated a list over the past few months of other things that I do to just kind of carry on from the first episode. If you haven't checked it out, I recommend. But this time, a little bit differently, I've asked other people from our community, from the disabled community online, to share some things that they have found useful as well. I don't know all the hacks. I don't know everything. And this podcast is all about learning, and I want to learn from you guys as well. I want to learn from the community. So I'm excited to dive into that later, but at the moment, let's just go through the list of things that I have. So I've got practical things that I do, but also like products and like actual things that have helped me. I guess let's get into it. So the first one is something that has saved me a lot of times, especially in like quite chaotic like times when I'm rushing around. My life is in my calendar, like online on my phone, on my laptop, like Google Calendar. If I receive like emails for like Teams meetings or something, it gets put into my calendar so that I don't need to actually remember what I'm doing every day. Because you guys know I'm a busy person. I love like being busy, but sometimes I just can't help it. I can't remember what I'm doing every day. I need to check my calendar. But sometimes if I've got like appointments, or if I've got things that I need to travel for, I'd say my time management is not the best. It could be much worse. I'd say I always end up being like a few minutes late. Nothing crazy, not like half an hour or anything. But if it's like appointments, I don't want to be late. I don't want to waste the National Health Service's time. And also, especially for hospitals, if you're going for an appointment, it can be an absolute nightmare to find somewhere to park. And I drive everywhere, so I need to have a suitable place to park. So usually now when I get an appointment, like a letter come through the door, a text, whatever, I put it in my diary for half an hour at least before the actual appointment. Because one thing about me, I will never turn up somewhere early. As much as I really want to, as much as I wish that I could, and that was a part of my personality. It's just not. I will stay at home and I will put something off until I know I have the exact time bracket to get ready and get out the door, but I won't be a second earlier. So I like to put things in my diary, in my calendar, a lot sooner than it actually is, so that when I turn up, either I'm bang on time, if like there's traffic, or if I've struggled to park, it's okay because I've had that extra time buffer. And sometimes I would forget that I've put it in early and I would panic and I'd like rush around and I'd get to the appointment like, I'm sorry I'm late, and they'd be like, no, right, you're right on time. This also works with flights as well. You know, if you think you're the type of person who cuts it a bit fine when it comes to taking flights or trains or any other modes of public transport, or even just like meeting up with friends, just put it in a little bit earlier than usual, just to give you that time buffer. And this has saved me so often. And it just gives you some peace of mind as well, because if I do go to the hospital for an appointment and there's a massive queue of people waiting for a parking spot, I'm not feeling the urge to like text my doctor like, I'm so sorry, I'm stuck in a queue outside, please wait. Another practical thing I love doing is I try to keep a stock of cards in my house, in my flat. I have like a box of presents or cards or like other little gifts for loved ones' birthdays that are maybe coming up, and it's just kind of a good way to keep everything together. But I try to keep a stack of cards, whether they're birthday cards, congratulations cards, thank you cards. They're all there so that if someone's birthday or an occasion creeps up on me and I haven't had time to go out and buy that person a card, I already have a card ready to go and I can just send it out quickly. Sometimes you think like, oh, my mum's birthday is not for another couple of months, but then suddenly it's like a week away and you've forgotten to buy a card. So it's a helpful tip to just have things on you. Also, I love writing cards. I'm a card sender, card writer through and through. Love it. And sometimes, you know, thank you cards, congratulations cards, they're there for things that you haven't like planned, things like that could be spontaneous. You know, if your friend just got engaged, you can send out a congratulations card. If you want to thank someone for something they've done to help you, you've got that on hand. You don't need to like go out looking for it. You get the gist. It's very handy. Something I've been trying to do a lot more recently that I haven't quite mastered, but I'm trying to get there, is habit stacking. So this means like if you're bad with settling into a routine every day, like I don't know, if you're bad with sticking to your habits, trying to do them at the same time as another habit, I guess, like a habit that you're already doing. One book that really helped me with this is Atomic Habits, and it's quite a classic like self-help book. If you haven't read it, I really recommend. I had mine on my Kindle so I could just keep coming back to it wherever I am. But the book talks about habit stacking, and that is something I'm trying to harness. For example, I am so bad at doing like stretches in the morning. One thing about me is I love my sleep, and I will sleep in until the last minute that I need to get up to go to work or go to wherever I need to be. I won't wake up early to, you know, have a lovely chilled breakfast before work or do some stretching or go for a walk before work. No time for that. I will get up, get ready and get out the door as soon as possible. So that's probably quite a bad habit to have, but that's just who I am. But with stretching, because I can't get on the floor really anymore, I don't tend to do like mat exercises, mat workouts, which I used to do. So now I know that my legs get really stiff first thing in the morning. So I try and stretch my legs and my hip muscles and just everything else as much as I can whilst I'm brushing my teeth. If I'm going to be stood up anyway for 2 minutes brushing my teeth, that's enough time for me to just stretch a bit instead of just being stood there and maybe like sitting down whilst I'm brushing my teeth to save the energy. I may as well do some stretching if I can. So that's one example, because obviously I brush my teeth every day, twice a day. So that's, 2 times that I'm stretching it out. So it's basically stacking a habit on top of a habit that you're already doing. Something else I do that really helps me with like saving energy, and maybe is more beneficial if you live in like a house with a set of stairs, or just a bigger environment than a flat like I live, but to keep duplicates of everything around the house to save energy. So like phone chargers is a big thing. I've got a phone charger in the living room and I've got a phone charger in my bedroom so that I'm not like back and forth all the time. Toothbrush is another thing if you've got more than one bathroom, so that you don't need to, it just like saves like that extra little bit of energy. And even if you don't think it's worth it and you don't want a duplicate of everything, I suppose it's just like all those little things that add up to just really help you throughout your day, especially on really low energy days. If I'm sat on the sofa and I want to charge my phone, I will not be getting up to walk to the bedroom to pick the charger up from the floor, like bend down, bend back up with the charger and walk back. I will just ask my partner to do it, and that's just not really fair. If he's wanting to relax, it's not fair that he's like going to get everything for me. Although that is a great life hack as well, to have just a partner to do everything for you, like a personal assistant. But it is very handy to just have an extra of everything so that you're not constantly like draining yourself back and forth, I guess. So moving on to the next one, I am a theatre girly. I love shows, I love musicals, I love going to see them up and down the country. And I know here in Wales, especially in Cardiff, there are some theatres that have like specific accessible ways to get tickets. So you can like sign up with them, make an account that's like an accessible account, and then every time you go online to book tickets, they will give you like a discounted rate or like a free companion, or sometimes both. But it wasn't until I went to specific shows in theatres around England that I then had to sign up individually to each like theatre to get onto their like accessible scheme. So an access card is a really important thing to have if you don't already have one, especially, well, in the UK anyway. An access card will allow you to save money on concerts, shows, musicals, anything going on in the theatre world. I used my access card for ABBA Voyage when I went at the beginning of the year, and that's in London. I've used my access card to get like discounted or like just like accessible seats in general, and got to bring a free companion with me, just to like help me in and out of the seats and things like that. So I really recommend getting an access card, but also checking the venue of whatever show you're going to and seeing what their kind of accessibility perks are, I guess, seeing if you can sign up with them specifically with that like company, and seeing if you can get onto their like disability like scheme, not scheme, but you know what I mean, like get in their books basically, so that every time you do book a ticket for that venue in the future, they will already have your account at hand. Because one thing about booking accessible tickets compared to like non-accessible tickets, just standard tickets, it takes like 5 times the time. It takes like, oh, does that make sense? Like 5 times longer. So yeah, it's just, it can be a bit draining, but I have the same with like concerts. I think I booked to see Ariana Grande at the O2 at the end of August, which I'm very excited for. Her new album is coming out soon, very excited. But I managed to get tickets through their like accessible website with my access card, and they secured me seats that were level to the floor, so I could go up lifts to like the right floor, and when I walk into the actual hall where it is, the seats are like right there. I don't need to walk up or down any steps within the actual venue, because those steps are a killer, I tell you that. So yeah, it's great. I won't have to do any stairs, and it's stuff like that the access card is really good for. I'll obviously still struggle to get out of the seat, but I'm bringing someone with me to be able to help me with that. So it's all about the perks, guys. We've got to make the most of it, but that is definitely something, if you don't already have, that I really recommend. And it's the same with public transport, you know, getting a discount on like Trainline, for example. You can get disabled rail card. I think I have a disabled National Express coach card as well, which is very handy for us coach users in the UK. Moving on to like actual products now and objects more than like hacks, I guess. I saw something on TikTok the other day. I think like a colleague of mine recommended this. It's a hairdryer holder. Now, I've not actually used this myself, but I thought I would give this a shout out because it sounds genius. I really struggle to dry my hair because obviously it requires keeping your arms and your elbows up for a very long time. And usually I just let my hair naturally dry unless it's like in the evening and I want to go to sleep, then I will push myself to the extreme to just dry my hair. But there's a thing now where it like attaches to the wall. You just put your hairdryer on it and it just like it stays in one place and you can just move around, and the hairdryer can be quite heavy as well. So I really love the idea of having a hairdryer holder. So if you guys end up getting one, they're only like £6 on TikTok shop. There's something going on there, but what a bargain. I mean, if you guys end up getting one, please let me know how it is, and I need a full review because I might try this out. We'll see. This next one is for the hairy people amongst us, and I don't just mean hairy, but I just mean people with hair or with long hair. Obviously, brushing my hair means that I'm losing, and I've got quite long hair as well. I'm losing quite a bit of hair, from week to week, and there's going to be hair all over my carpet in the bedroom. And it's kind of gross when you sometimes see those like little balls of hair and you're like, oh my goodness, and you pick it up and it just keeps going and there's just loads of strands of hair. I can't bend down to pick these up very easily, and I like to keep my home as clean as I can, but it's sometimes really difficult when you've got things like that, when you constantly picking stuff down. And I do have a grabber, which I mentioned in my first episode of this life hack series, but a grabber is not going to be good for gathering all the hair from the carpet. So I've come across a hair scraper. What's it called? A carpet scraper, sorry. It kind of looks similar to a brush, but it's just like a long, thin, spiky thing. It's so hard to describe. I'm sorry, I should have gone to get one for you, but it just means that you don't have to keep bending down. You can just scrape, as you would sweep the hallway, as you would sweep the floor. You can just use this scraper to scrape up all the hair and like ball it together, and then you can use your grabber to pick up the remnants. And it's really quite shocking how much hair is actually there that's like hidden in the carpet once you actually scrape it all up. So yeah, I'd recommend that. Another thing I haven't quite gotten yet, but I've ordered and is literally on its way as we speak, is a pill organizer. And like I said earlier, I'm really bad at taking my vitamins, especially daily. And I think if I just keep them all in one place and I've got, a little box. Have you seen those like daily pill organizers? There's like one little section for each day of the week. They're all sealed, so you can just open that specific box whenever you're ready to take them. But that will hopefully force me to actually take them every day, because you can't miss a day. You can't take Tuesday's one without taking Monday's one. So I am hoping that this will change my habits of taking my vitamins, because I'm sorry to any doctors listening to this, but I'm really bad. Like, I have them in my cupboard, I just don't think to take them. So this should hopefully help. I'll keep you updated. The next thing on my list is a hair wrap, and it's essentially like a hair curler, like a curling wand, curling tongs, except when I use curling tongs, kind of similar to the hairdryer, I'm holding my elbows up for quite a long time, because once you wrap your hair around the curlers, you have to hold it there for a while, because you want the heat to get through to the hair and you want the curls to hold. So especially with me anyway, curling my hair can take forever and it's so draining, and my arms are killing, my shoulders are killing by the end. I have the Shark hair wrap, so it's kind of like a suction kind of thing. It's like a big wand that blows out hot air, but also kind of like sucks in your hair. So all you need to do is to just like tease the bottom of your hair right next to it, and then the hair wrap will just like wrap up your hair, or like suck the hair into the thing. And it's really hard to describe. Please just Google it. I'm very bad at describing these things, but I find it really useful because I don't need to be holding both my elbows up. I can just kind of hold it right down next to me. My elbows can be by my side whilst I'm doing this, and it's a lot easier than using curling tongs, and a lot less time consuming as well, because you don't need to hold it there for as long. The only thing I do find is that the curls drop quite quickly unless you like put them all separately in rollers and then pin them in the rollers for a while. But I don't have rollers and I don't have the time. So I'm all for a quick, easy fix. I did use my hair up yesterday. So it's been over 24 hours, but my hair is pretty much straight now. But I'm just loving the fact that it was styled and it's not just like my natural really frizzy hair. I feel like I need to style my hair after I wash it because otherwise it's just a bit of a mess. You guys know I love my heatless curls, and I did talk about heatless curls in my last life hacks episode, but this is another option if you fancy something different from heatless curls. I do find that the heatless curls hold a bit better, but maybe I'm just still figuring out my hair wrap and trying to use it properly. But I'm loving it. And it also dries your hair at the same time. Sorry, that's like quite a key bit of information that I forgot to mention. It dries your hair and styles it at the same time. So it saves you from having to dry your hair. I think you need to like semi-dry it like quite roughly to begin with. But yeah, you can use this hair wrap on damp hair, wrap it around so it dries it and styles it. So then when you let go, you've got perfect dry curls and it's great. Okay, I've got one more of my own list and then we'll move on to the other recommendations. But the last one I've got is a little accessory for my wheelchair, and it's a cup holder. I've actually got it with me right here. Sorry, it's not just a cup holder, it's also a phone holder. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's just something that you can very easily just adjust to and remove whenever you want to. You just kind of clasp it around a part of your wheelchair and tighten it. And there you go. You've got a cup holder for your bottle or your coffee or literally anything. And then a little phone holder as well. How cute. I definitely recommend one of these. Literally like not that much on Amazon, but very, very useful. So if you're finding that you don't want to keep things on your lap when you're in the wheelchair, or you don't want to like carry loads of different things, you don't want to take a bag with you, but you just want your phone and like your water, this is where it's very useful. This comes in very handy. All right, shall we move on to the recommendations from you guys, from the members of the public? Someone said that they always keep a stool in the kitchen, which I should probably start doing because cooking in the kitchen can take a long time, and I definitely get very tired very quickly from cooking in the kitchen and just from standing up for a long time, like preparing the food. So that is a great hack. Someone said that they carry a sturdy cushion with them so that getting up from low seats becomes easy. I like this, and I also should start doing this because often I find myself in public spaces using chairs that are a bit too low and I really struggle getting up from them, and just that extra little bit of height with a cushion would actually make such a difference. So yes, great idea. The only thing is though, I would just have to carry a cushion around with me all the time. But maybe I'll just keep a cushion in my car so that if I do end up going somewhere and I've parked nearby and the seats aren't very good, I can just pop to my car to get a cushion. Maybe I'll do that. Someone said, I put ear tags on all my accessibility devices. I like to be safe during travelling. Ear tags is something I need to look into getting as well. Just in general, I think it's just such a good idea. If you like lose something in transit, you can track it, and that I think is just a brilliant hack, especially for wheelchairs that are really expensive or other mobility devices that you don't want to lose because one, they're really expensive, and two, you probably can't function without them. So it would be very handy to be able to track them. Someone said, an airplane foot hammock really helps me. Ooh, I wish I'd seen this like before getting the plane to Denmark, but I have got a long haul flight to Iowa in another few weeks, so maybe I'll get one for that. Airplane foot hammock. Oh, that sounds amazing, especially if you want to sleep. Okay, one more. A recent game changer for me recently has been an alternating wheelchair pressure cushion. great circulation and comfort. No need to readjust every 3 to 5 minutes of sitting, and I can adjust the softness and firmness, and it adjusts automatically. No aches, soreness or pressure sores. For wheelchair users or those with low body weight, I recommend. I found one off Amazon. Ooh, that sounds really good. Because yeah, one thing about being sat in a wheelchair for a long time is that your butt can get quite numb and you can get really uncomfortable. So that is a very good tip. I also actually, that's reminded me of someone else I know with LGMD said that they bought like an electric blanket for the wheelchair. It's like a wheelchair specific one. And it just kind of radiates a bit of heat. So just to keep you warm in the winter time. I know we're not in the winter at the moment, but it's a good thing to have to be prepared for next winter. But yeah, that is a really good hack, and I love this pressure cushion idea. So I need to look into this too. Great tips. Like, I didn't know of any of these before, and I will absolutely be looking into these because they sound absolutely amazing. So yeah, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm really glad you guys were able to bear with me through this episode and made it to the end. I really appreciate your support. I want to hear from you guys though. Like, what are some life hacks that you have that you want to share? Anything that you think other people might benefit from, please let me know. Leave it in the comments of this episode, or message me personally at Unbalanced Podcast. You can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Cerys Davage if you want to follow me personally, and I'm doing a lot more content now, which I'm really enjoying. Yeah, that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you to Cure LGMD2I and BridgeBio for sponsoring this podcast. And I'm excited to share more about our own charity's journey with you very soon. But for now, go and check it out, go and support, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!